talk back and make some sense out of what we just saw. Hello, all I need is your name, what film you represented, and what was the true meaning of that.
Sean Beatty, director of We Keep Us Safe. I wanted to take you back to 2020 and make a piece from the perspectives of a wide range of people to explain in their own words and what drove them to the streets and the movement, and let photography really tell that story and place you right in the streets. And just let their voices speak for themselves.
So one of the things that I remember from that film is that during the George Floyd era, there was wide range demonstrations, and individuals who were harassed by the police, they were trying to have some peaceful demonstrations, but they were shuffled off to areas that were not being heard because the media was around. So take me to a point where there was some information shared that helped the individuals who were there to bring their story across about what really happened to George Floyd.
I think I need to paraphrase really quick one more time. Can you
Talk a little bit about how the George Floyd situation started and how they continue to harass those individuals who are trying to get a story across.
I think at that point in time, no one could sit still, and while that took place in Minnesota, I was in New York City, and it was a point where people couldn't sit back and watch, despite the fact it was in the middle of a pandemic, which I think also helped with the movement. Was the time you had there was no social activities, there was no distraction. So I think people felt liberated enough to take that risk on for whatever it was worth, because you couldn't turn your back. And I think people, I'm going kind of in a big place, but I think people took the opportunity to use that movement also to bring up injustices towards trans community, queer community, non-binary community, and bringing up stories on youth and elder youth, disabilities. So I think people, while this murder happened in Minnesota to George Floyd, it was a reflection of everyone. And I think people just put their lives on the line. I think there was a time where there was unity. I think white people learned their privilege and used their privilege to help others to get their point across. But there was a big risk. It was, we had curfew in New York City. That never happened. Inside, there's a little blurb in there. I don't know if you heard that. But it was a risk being on that you were taken to jail, you were, but I think it was more about like, if we don't do this now and stand up, and it was a global cause, then who are we as human?
Are there any questions from the audience?
Don't be shy, I'm in New York City.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. We thank you to make sure that the rest of the RoxFilm's 9 nights that are still available, that we see you guys there. Please come back. We're at 3 sites. Hibernian Hall tomorrow, back at Mass Art, as well as
the Museum of Fine Arts.
Museum of Fine Arts.
And Just Bookish.
Just Bookish as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.